What I'm about to share with you, I'm doing so with the intention to relate and share my story. And I'm not perfect. In fact, I'm very far from perfect. I have a lot of strengths, I have a lot of weaknesses. But I think keeping skeletons in the closet to people that are going to rely on you to help you with, their livelihood, their health, and also just the way that they think and their plans and everything in life. I think that those people, and I think there's going to be power in me sharing this personal story of mine and being vulnerable. And I really just at the end of the day hope it builds trust and also lets you know that you can still be great because I am great. I believe that in my heart. I really do. You can still be great and still have bad things, bad experiences in the past. You've done bad things. We can always just move forward better. We can't change the past, right? So I share this story in hopes to open up to you, be vulnerable, really tell you my story. I feel like you should kind of know some of the skeletons that are in the closet, and really there's I'd say maybe only one or two. And today I'm telling you the actual skeleton in the closet. I mean, the other one was some younger stupid shit I did when I was younger, like we all did as teenagers. But what I want to share with you is me, Sean, as a health coach and somebody that people go to improve how they live, how they feel, how they function in their everyday life and in their career. Since I was about 18, and I just turned 23 this past August. So it's been about 5 years, and I smoked weed for the first time on my birthday, which is in late August when I was 18. I didn't really become a pothead like off the rip, kind of scaled into it, more or less, if that's the right terminology. And soon I was kind of smoking while I was working and stuff like that. Never went to school high or anything like that, but I just started to kind of pick up the habit and all the bad things that kind of came with it, just bad eating habits. Just very irritable. I became more arrogant than I already was, even at the time. And the habit just kind of scaled over time. And as I became an entrepreneur, I kind of just became very undecided on the habit. I knew it wasn't good. It cost a lot less money back then, by the way, but it kind of just evolved over time to the point where then I realized I would never smoke every day for a long period of time. I would have like these phases, right? Almost like these catastrophic like loops, these cycles that are just belligerent, like they're just very vicious, needless to say. And if you can relate to the cycle, then hey, let me know if you've had your own personal breakthrough. I'd love to share. But basically this loop that I would get caught in is where I would be very committed, not like grinding, like burning out grinding. Like I'd still be taking care of my health very well. So I'd be performing extremely well. I'd be getting results. I'd be very productive. I would feel amazing. My life was just where it was supposed to be. I want to reward myself after 2 weeks, a month, 2, 3 months of results like that, of input and output. And when I do that, I tend to take like a 1 day celebration and I drag it on with the bad habit of smoking weeds for days and sometimes even weeks. It's never gone more than a few weeks, but I've literally had periods of time where all I did was because I could afford to literally just take a rest from the business, what it may be. And I would literally just smoke and do whatever I wanted to do and through all my routines, like everything out the door. And I would just kind of go ghost and really just fall off and not get any work done for like a week, 2 weeks. Most times it's really like 3, 4 days, but it's like I'll take 3 steps ahead in my journey as an entrepreneur, as an individual, to take 2 steps back to smoking, destroying my gut by eating the bad shit again, wasting money, not really being the best version of myself for those that are around me, and etc. And as a health coach, somebody that helps people with their health to be, and again, this is not all the time, but behind the scenes, I would be the biggest hypocrite, and I was, because I don't engage in this habit anymore, that I'd be the biggest hypocrite, smoking a blunt or smoking a joint or even driving to the dispensary when I tell other people, hey, you shouldn't do drugs, you shouldn't do these bad habits. I don't have any other bad habits. I don't watch porn. I don't do stupid shit. I don't scroll. I don't binge watch Netflix. I mean, something really good comes out, right? But like, I'm not bad to people. I don't have a lot of the common bad habits most people have, and I don't have a lot of bad beliefs and mindsets that a lot of people hold. One of the things that really has just kind of really kept me back was just smoking because I go in these loops, and you take 3, 4 steps to come 1 to 2 steps back. And I've been working with a friend of mine and my mindset coach to really work through these things internally, where this habit developed from, where it started from, even things as far as hypnosis, and a lot of this stuff has really worked. But I wanted to share that story with you guys. And now I want to kind of transition to the part of the story as to how I'm overcoming that challenge and how every day I still have my trials and how I move through them. Cool. So now, as it's October 29th, 2025, pretty crazy. My birthday was almost 1 month ago, or excuse me, 2 months ago. And for me, what has helped me stay sober and what I believe will help me stay sober forever, and what I believe has helped any other addict or anybody that even kind of struggled with anything, right? Because at the end of the day, it was addiction. I had addiction with weed. Thank God it was nothing worse. Thank God I never got anything that was ever laced. But it's still a drug. I don't care how the economy in the US classifies it or wherever you may be located or based. But some of the things that have really helped me, really, there's been one core shift that has helped me not go back to the habit and stay strong. There's three things here. First, I'm going to go over like the shifts, then something you're not going to think about. And then third one is maybe some tools to actually kind of help you. The first one would be the shift that needed to be made. If you wouldn't do actions or you wouldn't do any kind of activity, anything, even as far as brushing your teeth, you wouldn't do that kind of activity if it wasn't a part of who you are. Right? Let me give you an example. You wouldn't go to the gym if you didn't want to be fit, look good, feel good, or knew you wanted to make some kind of change. You just wouldn't be there. It wouldn't be something that you did. But because you're a person, your identity, keyword identity, you're already in sales, like you know this shit. But identity being the key word, you just have to become a person. Build yourself every day with habits, intentional mindset work, awareness. You have to just literally be a different person. You have to be a version of yourself that's too good and that has evolved far beyond being a person that would engage in some kind of habit or activity or, with another person, whatever it may be. So I had to become the individual that didn't smoke weed, that didn't do stupid shit, that wouldn't go and eat munchies crazy, for hours and just plop in front of the couch. I had to become a person that wouldn't even look at it and be like, should I do it or not? There's no questions to be asked anymore. At least most days there's not, because I'm not the kind of person I was back then. I'm not the kind of person that says, oh, wow, I just had a record month. Let me go smoke weed and have fun. I'm not the kind of person that wants to smoke to relax. I'm the kind of person that now wants to meditate. I'm the kind of person that wants to go for a walk and have a beautiful conversation while doing so. My priorities, who I am, what I enjoy, what I stand for, these things have since shifted. And then it's like, if I do get the temptation, I have to ask myself, okay, well, why am I getting it? Right? What was the trigger? And then secondly, I don't really have to use that much willpower to fight against it, because if it's something I wouldn't do, if it's not who I am, unless somebody's putting a gun to my head, which is not the case, obviously, why would I do it? Right. So I think the thing is there, like, oh, like, should I drink? Should I not drink? If you're not the kind of person that picks up the bottle and does that, if you don't identify with that individual and their ways and how they think, you want more, you want better, you want to be a better version of yourself, there wouldn't really be that much more thought to that initial question. Should I? You won't. You're like, it's just not something I do. It's just not it. All right. So I think the identity shifting has been huge. And another part of that, actually, from a health perspective, for anybody that's recovering from any kind of addiction or, has some kind of abuse or anything to do with any kind of substances, or even just bad decisions in general, which is about all of the human population, by really taking care and prioritizing your health, which is what this channel was made for, that and to share my life, is the better that you take care of yourself and your health, and you sleep properly, you're fit internally, all like your health data, your biomarkers, those are on point, everything's in range, and you're just really taking care of yourself. There's certain muscles in your mind and in your brain that are responsible for the actual act of willpower. You can train those muscles by using willpower. The more you use, like typically the more you'll get. You just build that muscle over time. But if you just sleep properly and you keep your brain clean, clear, fluid, energized, focused in a way, you become far much less susceptible to impulses. So something as simple as sugar to something as complex as, going back to an ex that you shouldn't, or, smoking or drinking, something along the lines that it might be, by just really taking really good care of your mental health, your sleep, everything that encompasses health, you'll be so much more easier, excuse me, for you to just be, "Oh, I'm good. No worries. It's not me. I don't do that." Then if you are not well rested, if you're not nice and energized and clear and well looked after and don't really take care of yourself, your health is not a priority, or it's not really even doing so well, it's so much easier to fall into the traps, into the impulses. Oh, it's just one more time. and then you go back on a tangent, right? So I think the first part is changing who you are and you not identifying with an activity or behavior like that. I think the second part of it then really does go back into like, okay, cool. Now, if I actually make sure that I take time to build the muscles of willpower and of not fall into these impulses by just taking care of my health, that's something else you can do better. Take care of your health. And the last one, tools or kind of tips or tricks, I would say, is when you get a temptation, just sit there and be very present with how intense it is and just let it go. The same way you do when you're meditating. Thought comes in, you get caught in thought, you realize it. Oh, it's just a thought. Let it go. Right? Same thing with the temptation. Oh my God. Oh, I want it. 10, 15 minutes. Let the temptation go. You can go journal about it after. Right? If kind of sitting there thinking about it or just trying to let it go is not helping, you can't focus on your breath or anything. Again, you can try to go write it down. You can go pray, speak out loud, kind of speak them to the temptation is like, hey, I know you're there, but it's okay. You can keep going, you can move forward. Or, sometimes like I know I have a client who struggles with a bad little addiction to habit themselves. He loves to go and smash like a workout whenever he gets really kind of jittery or anxious. He gets a really bad, intense temptation. He'll go hit a workout if his schedule allows for it, or just channel all that energy into it, just moves on with his day like nothing ever happened. That's kind of his way of channeling it into positive intention, right? And good action. So that's, I would say, are some tips and tricks. Verbalize it, speak it out, pray about it with the Lord, write it out, reflect on it. You can even go in the mirror and speak to yourself. You'll look so stupid talking to yourself in the mirror like that. Like you'll really feel stupid. You can write it out. You can talk it out, right? You can go for a quick run, exercise it out. If you do some kind of meditation, things to kind of help your mind take your mind off of it and just ultimately let it go with time. So that's what I would say for that. Um, and I can proudly say going forward, I am sober. I am not the kind of man that engages in those activities or that habit. Um, and I'm just a better person. I'm a better man because of it. And I'm not perfect. And although I have my struggles, you do too. And we all struggle together. We all grow together, which is the same reason we can all succeed together and feeling great, amazing every day and leveling up sustainably. So that's just a video about my story, about the addiction that I've been keeping in the closet, what that's done to me, to my life, and hopefully how you can overcome it if you're experiencing it, how maybe there's some tips or tricks that can help you with those intense withdrawals and those intense moments and then also how you can make sure you stay sustainable doing it from a science perspective. Hope you enjoyed. Appreciate you. And that's my story.